You can amplify your ability to manifest with pleasure. Law of attraction, think about what attraction means. Like when we're attracted to someone, right? We're desiring them. So law of attraction is like, how do we use our attraction energy and manifest what our heart desires? But we can do this, and with Tantra, there's a lot of different practices, getting your chakras in alignment. Our chakras are these energy centers within our bodies that can't be seen, but they've actually done scans and injected isotopes and do imaging and see that these energy centers that over 5,000 years ago with tantric practices that people believe to be true and be present in the body actually are here. We don't see them, just like I used to assist with surgeries. And whenever I would assist with surgeries, it's not like whenever I'm helping with open heart surgery or neurobrain surgery that I could see someone's soul. But we know that we have a soul, right? Some people may not have that belief, but the majority of people, and we feel we have that. But no matter what, whenever I'm going inside someone's body and doing surgery, I don't see the soul, but that energy is present within. Same thing with our energy, with our chakras. And I want you to imagine a water hose. And the water hose has a kink in it. And sometimes that happens within our energy center. So the energy isn't flowing as freely through us. And when I had my first soulgasm with my first tantric lover a decade ago, those kinks got worked up through the pleasure circulating through my body, through me breathing. The 3 tenets of Tantra are breath, sound, and movement. Me breathing, me sounding as I'm moaning, as I'm moving my body in a sensual way, was able to get some of that energy up. And since this person was able to last for a period of 5 hours, which is something I now coach my male clients on how to do, I was able to have these prolonged states of ecstatic bliss. So that energy could continue to move up through me. On average, the amount of time that people are able to make love, it can even be 5 minutes or less. To even make love and be present for 20 minutes is pretty good. And the reason that there is a gap between the type of pleasure that women have and men have whenever it comes to lovemaking, and they call it the O gap, is that the majority of the time males will have a climax during lovemaking, and over 70%, and it's a much lower number, just like a huge gap of how often women are able to, right? And it's because women's arousal cycles, a lot of times when we're just getting started and warmed up, for the males it's already over. And so our arousal cycles are mismatched. When I was out with this person and they were able to help me like ride these waves of pleasure and bliss, and I could tell that I didn't have to hold back, because I never had noticed it before, but I knew that if I was to allow my pleasure to really get ramped up, I would push my partner to the point of no return, and it would be game over. So I would pull the reins in on my pleasure so that I could hold my pleasure back, so I could help my partner and support my partner in lasting longer. And he had not shared with me that he had mastered Tantra and had been studying it for a year. He dated a Tantra educator. I did not know this the first time we were together. And I just could sense in his body that no matter what was going on with me, and we were not on any substances, no matter what was happening with me and that I was having multiple climaxes, he was unshakable. He was just steady. He meditates a lot. He actually does teach meditation as well. He's fully present and dropped in and honoring the goddess as these waves of pleasure continued. And I was like, wow, I can really have fun here. I don't have to hold back my pleasure, because my pleasure, this person, is unshakable. So I got to play in this space, and at the time I was 44, a decade ago, I was like, wow, I get to play in a way that I've never been able to experience before. So many of us don't realize, we're not aware of what's fully possible for us, because we just haven't got the opportunity to explore, because usually these moments end before these other experiences can even happen for us. So whenever this life force energy, our vitality, and in Eastern medicine is that energy that actually brought us into life. There can be so much shame about that, which is why, unfortunately, my guest Tantra page was removed by Instagram, because talking about these things and trying to educate can create so much pushback and make people uncomfortable. I think sometimes there's a fear that I'm being intimate with my clients. That is a big no. That is unethical. I'm guiding my clients how on their own and with their lovers they can experience and share more pleasure together. And then they do their home play and the practices, and they have better experiences with their partners and with themselves in solo Tantra practices and rituals, because you don't need a lover to begin, and you will attract better lovers once you have tapped into this and start changing the energy, opening up your chakras, your energy centers, and you're in flow. Because we all have an energy field, an aura, and energy doesn't lie. You notice when someone walks in a room and that energy shifts. They come in the room and you can feel their presence. You can feel like, oh, that person makes me feel a little uncomfortable, or wow, everyone is attracted to them like a moth to a flame, just like this magnetism. That's what Tantra helps you to do and plays a major role in manifesting. So how does this all go together? I was also born on Halloween. One of the things that I teach is the O method. The O is for your climax. This is a way to increase your magnetism, increase your confidence, and attract what you're wanting to experience in life. And I want you to think about it. As we go through life, and there's so many times when you'll be like, oh, I want to sign up for this challenge. I want to create change. I would love to work with a coach. I'm going to read this self-help book. I want to change something up, right? I want to shift. What do I need to read? What podcast do I need to listen to? Let's create change. Let's change some stuff up. Because the definition of insanity is wanting a different outcome, and then we continue to do everything the same. We wake up the same routines, the same way, and then we're like, why isn't my life changing? Why do we expect a change when we're not willing to change? But imagine if when we want to create this change, we go back and hit the reset button by tapping into and connecting the very energy that brought us into existence. Our orgasmic energy. It's the very energy that even brought us into life and into existence. That is our life force energy. If we go back to that place that brought us to the very beginning of being, wouldn't that be a great energy to tap into and master, to recreate our lives? And whenever we want to have a different experience and manifest things in our outer world is just a reflection of our inner world. So we can buy all the things and have everything look a certain way and have the status symbols and whatever, but if we haven't changed what's on here, we're not going to create the change. We think if I buy this, I have the house, I have the car, I have the hot partner, XYZ, I have the prestigious job, I'm going to be so happy. And Jim Carrey gave us such a gift to say, I wish that everyone would know that when you earn $1 million, it doesn't change. That did not make him happy. Yes, that's a goal he manifested, but it wasn't the thing that was going to radically shift him as a person. It's deeper than that. Whenever you start to change your inner world, then things shift in your outer world. Because again, your outer world is just a reflection. It's mirroring to you what's going on in here. So what if we change the things in our inner world? We change the things in our emotions. We change the way that we think. We change the way that we feel. Because feeling, there's a thing called the feeling is a secret on manifestation. How do we feel about things? Can we feel pleasure? Can we feel joy? Like when's the last time that you danced? You don't have to go out and about to go dancing and find a dance floor at the club. I have a dance floor here in my living room. And what is the old expression, to cut a rug? I remember my grandparents saying that. Dance like no one is watching. Just dancing, moving, playing, and being in the feeling of joy. And when you're feeling in the feelings of joy, you're in joy, then you're able to actually enjoy your life. How much do you allow yourself to receive pleasure? So I'm going to drop this here. Even when you have a moment with a lover or solo self-pleasuring, whenever you're at the end and the climax has happened, how quick do you jump up and get out of that moment? Go to grab a towel or whatever. Go to jump in the shower. Grab your cell phone if you're alone. How often do you disconnect and leave that state of having pleasure? And how much can you allow yourself to receive? So the thing is, whenever in those moments, even when you cut it short, you don't have the capacity to receive. So when we want to have a bigger life, when we're calling more things in, we need to have the ability to receive that and hold it. We need to have the nervous system that can hold that. We need to have the emotional body that can hold that. Because all these subconscious blocks and things like that get in our way. So I have an amazing program. This one is for women. It's a group program. I do coach men on how to do this as well, but with men, it's just a one-to-one coaching program. But the group program is for women. It begins this Thursday, but if people can't join the first call, there are replays for the calls, modules that will be happening. And this is an incredible program to open up your chakras, help with your root chakra, which has to do with your mother-father wound, opening up your heart chakra, which your heart chakra connects your upper and lower chakras, and it connects you with the world around you. It's your connection chakra. And a lot of times we have a kink in this chakra because of past childhood wounds or romantic relationships that we got heartbroken, and we get guarded and we start to armor and close off. But we're also shutting down the flow of the energy from our chakras to flow. Imagine also a string of Christmas tree lights. And if one of them isn't operating and flowing energetically, it's impacting and stealing the energy from the other lights. So just be aware, managing your energy, working with pink Tantra and self-love, and then red Tantra is with pleasure, and pleasure is medicine. And what does your heart desire? Increase your law of attraction, amplify your ability to manifest by using these practices. Just think about it. How much more can you create when you're in these states? And there's a thing in Tantra called sex magic, and it is a neo form of Tantra, and using the energetics of pleasure with breathing, with your intentions. We use the phases of the moon. I've had clients that have manifested incredible job opportunities. They started making more money. They closed 6-figure, 7-figure deals within a few weeks with the company they were working at. I had someone manifest a Mercedes, and this person lives in Europe and works for a company in America and does not even need a company car to do their work, and was thinking, I really wish that I had a car. And she was in my program. She started doing the practices, and she sent me an email. She said, I just a couple weeks ago started doing them, and the company surprised her with a Mercedes as the company car, and she got a raise. Isn't that incredible? There's so many things. People have attracted divine partners. I've attracted celebrity clients and friendships, amazing opportunities, amazing job opportunities, better lovers. So many things happened for me when I tapped into the power of these practices. Especially women need to be able to feel more pleasure in their bodies and connect more to our sensual life force energy. We don't just have to create a human life with this energy. We can create a life that our heart desires. We can focus. That is what the transmutation of that energy is. It is focusing that energy on what we're wanting to manifest. I've manifested things within days. Other things I've noticed, Facebook actually gave me a reminder. I manifested something 3 years later. And it was like, oh, this time 3 years ago, you wrote this, and I had completely forgotten about it. And it was actually my current reality. It is so wild. So there's so much more that you're capable of experiencing. And I also want to share, one of my best friends for 30 years came to visit me. She's from Texas, and I'm back in Texas now, but for a while I was living in Los Angeles and California and San Francisco. She had not visited my home for a decade because we would meet in different towns, or I would go to our hometown. She came to my home a few days ago and spent several days with me. We've been together our whole adult lives. We've been friends. She said, this is the first time I've actually been in your home, and your home felt so peaceful, and everything that you have here is such a reflection of who you are as a person. She said, I can see how much you've changed just by the way your environment is. Because again, our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. If anyone wants to be guided by me, if you're a man and you want to learn these techniques and actually know how to last longer and stronger in bed, you can message me or click the link in my profile to get one-to-one coaching and apply for that, and be sure that you're a good fit to work with me, because I don't work with just anyone. I want to be sure you're really ready to create massive change in your life. For women, if you want this group coaching with me so you can experience more pleasure in your body, you can be multi-climaxing, I have to watch my wording here, and be your own best lover so you attract better lovers. You don't need a partner to begin learning Tantra. Let me know. Message me the word manifest or comment below in the video. It would be just such an honor to guide you and to remind you of how powerful you are. We are all so much more powerful than we realize. For males, you're giving a lot of your vital and life force energy away to watching adult videos. I don't believe in no fap November. I believe in limiting watching adult videos, but pleasure is medicine. So if you're able to experience pleasure and do it with intention and as a self-pleasure ritual, as a self-loving way to do it, you can be empowered. I teach my male clients how to separate their climax from the emission of the fluid. So then they can be multi-climatic and they can last and have stamina for hours and not feel drained, because you drain yourself of your life force energy. If you notice with men and women, we get charged up with that energy when we climax. We'll be more talkative and energized, but men will quickly fall asleep. It's because you're draining your life force energy. So you can actually be able to experience an incredible pleasure, full body pleasure from your head to your toe, and have multiple climaxes as well, and even have stronger and longer lasting hard-ons, even until your older age. I have clients in their 60s. I have a 60-year-old man that Viagra was failing. He's having better lovemaking with his wife in their 60s than when they were in their 30s. Isn't that incredible? He wasn't even able to make love to his wife before we started working together. Your body is so much more capable than you ever imagined. I am a registered nurse, a certified Tantra educator, and a trauma-informed master coach. What I'm sharing in this program is incredible. It's going to help with nervous system regulation, starting to heal from past wounds, being able to trust yourself, receive pleasure, and start to live the life that your heart desires, and by knowing you're worthy of receiving and being abundant. If anyone's interested, comment manifest below and I will share the details to enter the program. We begin on November the 9th, but if anyone has to start late, all the modules and the replays are there and available. You will not be behind. The program is going to go until the very first week of February. Imagine starting 2024 feeling fully empowered and also learning tantric ways. Thanks so much for being here. And if you want to be guided and enter my Orgasmic Manifestation Program, just message me the word manifest or drop it in the comments and I'll send you the details. And it's never too late to live a life that your heart desires. You're filled with so much magic. Lots of love. Blessings.